Hello, folks, and welcome back. In that last section, we encountered an error when we tried to map over a node list in order to get all the titles within the page. So, first of all, before we go any further, it's getting a bit cluttered inside the console here. So what I want to do is start to write JavaScript inside script.js. So you should note that thus far, I've just been writing JavaScript directly into the console. And then every time I hit enter, Chrome's JavaScript engine executes the JavaScript every single time. So we can instead run JavaScript code in example.js. Remember that example.js is linked to index.html. So if I refresh, you just go down here and do the same thing. So const album titles, and then we can do documents dot query selector all, and then we can do get the LIs, and then map, and then do li dot inner text, like so. Let's make that a bit smaller. Cool. So we have something that looks like this. What we expect to happen now, well, this is loaded with live server, so I expect now we get an error again. Indeed, uncaught type error. Document.query selector all map is not a function at example.js. So this is a common error that you will see when you're first using the DOM, and it's because, as I said before, this thing that's returned by query selector all is not an array. It's not a standard JavaScript array. It's actually a node list, which is something that Chrome browser implements. It's a particular data structure. So in order to fix this problem, I can consult from Google, and Google's going to tell me something about the fact that we have these two options here. So we can do ... node list or array.from. So if you've not seen this syntax before, ... is the spread operator, and it's going to allow us to create a new array based off something. So what I could do here is I could actually structure this slightly differently. First of all, call this albums, and do something like this, and then map over those albums here. But what it is saying is that I need to spread this. So I can wrap this in an array, do ... and now head back to Chrome. Cool. Wrong page. So now I'm seeing no error. If I go back to VS Code again, now going to need to console log album titles and see what I get. Cool. Now I get an empty array. So it's worth pausing to reflect on why we're getting an empty array at the moment. Do you have any ideas or thoughts? Why do we get an empty array like this? Okay, folks, so let's just reflect on what we have in Chrome at the moment. So we have an empty node list, and we have therefore no album titles in here. So the reason why we're getting this issue is at the moment, we need to just inspect our HTML and think about what's happening here. The reason why this is happening is it seems that this script is running before the browser has generated all of this stuff within the document object model. So one more time, it's almost like this code is running before the browser has had the opportunity to generate the DOM tree as follows. So in order to fix this issue, in our script, we can add in here something called defer attribute. If you hover over, it says set to indicate to a browser that the script is meant to be executed after the document has been passed, but before firing DOM content loaded. So the key phrase here is that this is going to say that the script is meant to be executed after the document has been passed. So with that in mind, what this means is that we can now check out to see what the behavior looks like now. And indeed, now we see the node list with all of the li elements as we anticipated. And we see album titles, which is an array of strings, which is what we were after the whole time. Awesome. Cool. So we're going to pause there and then head on to the next section.